back with another episode of A Certain Age. I'm your host, Steve V. Rodriguez, alongside my co-host, Kodi Maurice Doggette. Kodi, what an exciting show we got planned today.
I can't wait, Steve. It's going to be so much fun.
Right, on this episode, a little bit later, we're going to be talking to fitness expert Alejandro Terrazas about fit for life, how to stay fit for life, all the things as our bodies age. And this, I think, is very personal for both of us as we both have worked out for years. But
Mm-hmm.
posing a question to you, have you
Okay.
noticed workouts changing for you as you've gotten older? Have you found that certain fitness has changed throughout your life?
I used to be able to eat whatever I wanted to. So that component of it has definitely changed for me. I find that keeping my spare tire a little bit more in shape has become more difficult for me. So I've had to do a lot more cardio and a lot more working out than I used to be able to do. It's actually kind of crazy now that I think back on it, because it's not something that you even recognize. It's something that happens slowly over time, and that I didn't even get a hold of until I was looking at pictures of when back in the day when I was a twink and 20 pounds and soaking wet and doing all the things that I living that fancy life out there. So yeah, I think fitness has become a more integral part of who I am as my self-image has changed, and as who I am as a person has changed. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, definitely agree with you. When I turned 50, I noticed my body changing a lot more, holding on to a little bit more weight,
Mm-hmm.
combined with 2020, the pandemic, where we were inside
Ooh.
more. And I got into these HIIT training routines, HIIT training routines at that
Mm-hmm.
time because we couldn't go to the gyms anymore. And so a lot of calisthenics is what I started to do more. And I've been able to lose a little bit when I really focus on my cardio. But it's funny, more recently, I've been watching, when you do notice things like a spare tire coming along, you watch a lot of YouTube videos, or I do at least. And one of the things I've noticed is you have to get your steps in. You've got to do your cardio, and like you've got to limit your food intake as well. It's like this science that's right for you. And it's
Yeah.
not the easiest thing to manage. In terms of working out, I still love, after all of these years, the gym. I love anaerobic fitness. I love lifting weights. I love challenging my body to put on more weight, in whether it's squats or chest press. I do about 4 days a week of lifting,
Okay.
and I really have gotten into a rhythm of it. I like working out by myself,
Me too.
and my favorite time of day to work out is in the afternoon. So, in other words, getting in some work in the morning, into the late morning, into the early afternoon, and hitting the gym around 2 o'clock is my sweet spot to train
Mm-hmm.
in. I feel like I have like the best energy. I can put on my BBC Radio 1 app and listen to a mix, and I am full force. But that is not always the easiest thing to do, as we're all busy. Do you have sort of a sweet spot in when you like to work out, and do you like lifting weights?
I would say that we are very compatible. We should be gym buddies. I don't know why we've never thought of this before, because
We could. There's a new book that we're going to have somebody on the show too, and
oh
they're going
yeah,
to be
that's right.
one of the things in there. Aging well is about finding a workout partner. So maybe we can at least incorporate it once a week.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I would
Yeah,
love that. I am just like you. I like to get up. I don't necessarily like to do a lot of work in the morning.
got
I
it.
like to say I like to save it for a little bit later in the evening. I'm a night worker personally, but I like to get up, get my day going, have breakfast, ease into my day, and then around 2 o'clock, I love to go to the gym. That's my perfect time to go to the gym because it's not too busy, it's not too slow in there, I feel like. I feel like you can still see and be seen because that's honestly that's part of it as well, if you ask me personally.
So you like the social aspect of the gym as well.
I don't necessarily like to talk to people.
But knowing people are around, seeing
Yeah.
people, getting
You can
inspired.
getting inspiration, and actually I picked up a lot of good workout tips from people. What they do to in order to get the body that they most isn't achievable for them and beautiful. I think that I have seen people that I emulate as far as their body and what they do in the gym, and I picked up a lot of great tips from them, either just by watching them or going up to them and saying, "What do you recommend for me personally as far as working out is concerned?" I do talk to people, some people sometimes, but I find that 2 o'clock is when you can kind of really have enough time and space to yourself, but also have that social aspect to it.
Yeah, I mean, inspiration is so important, I think, to want to continue to work out. I've started thinking about my workouts as, when people say that statement, have a good workout,
Hmm.
that used to just go in one ear and out the other. Now I actually treat that time as I'm going to have a good workout. This is my 1 hour time
Ooh,
to myself to really honor my body and to take care of it. And like I said before, inspiration I think is really important. And so for me, I don't have a lot of inspiration in the gym I work out in. It's in my
hmm,
building. There's a couple of people that I see and I'll chit chat with them when I do see them. But for me, I have to look at a lot of YouTube videos to get a lot of tips. We're going to have Alejandro Terrazas on. He's my former trainer,
hmm.
and he's always left a line open for me to reach out to him, which I use to ask him certain questions about what if I was to change my back workout to this? What if I was to try this for legs? Do you like this as an alternative to lunges? And he's right there giving me that motivation, that inspiration. YouTube, though, is one of those things that I think we all live by to get inspiration and motivation. But when I'm in Puerto Vallarta and we go to this gym there that
Hmm.
is bodybuilder centric,
I want to go.
yes, we will go. I get a lot of inspiration there. There's a lot of male and female bodybuilders in that gym. And just looking around them, they inspire me to want to try something new or see how they're working out can just be a lot of fun because you're tweaking your body to get new results. It can be exciting.
Definitely. And if you were doing the same thing over and over and over again, your body's going to get used to it. That's been my experience, at least. So it's good to get out there and see what other people are doing and kind of switch things up to keep your body on its toes, really. And that's a huge, important part to actually making sure that your body does what it needs to do to live its best life, basically.
And can we just talk really quickly about the energy that you get after a workout, that you could be in a complete funk? I was in a Monday funk yesterday. The weather was a little gloomy and
Hmm.
dreary, and I got myself in the gym, and those endorphins that really people talk about really can be effective and got me out of the funk. I was able
Oh,
to
good.
stride through the rest of my work day and get a lot of done. But it's just getting yourself in there, I think, is the most important thing. But you can't say enough about endorphins. I mean, they really are powerful mechanisms that are happening in your body that can
Hmm.
change a dreary day inside your head to something that is really positive.
Oh, for sure. I hear that 100% because I could be having the Mondays, and I do have the Mondays every single Monday.
We all do.
Right? And once I get in that gym and I'm not ready to do it, but I drag myself to the gym and I'm about I start my workout, and by the end of the workout, I'm don't want to even leave the gym. I want to continue doing other things, and it's really kind of amazing to me. So as long as you're getting yourself just getting to the gym is the very first step, and it's the hardest step, honestly.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's time to bring on our special guest,
Ooh.
Alejandro Terrazas, fitness expert. Well, on this episode of A Certain Age, Kodi, I
Yeah.
am really excited to bring on my former trainer, a friend of mine, fitness expert, creator of Unleash Fit, Alejandro Terrazas. Welcome
Hello.
to Of a Certain Age.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And actually, it's an honor for you to have me here in
It
this
is. It
episode.
is. Well, we have so much on this episode to talk to you about as we age and our fitness. And I know I have one of the first questions. It's really been something that I've been seeing on TV, dealing with my mom, who has, she's in her 80s now. And I notice she has worked out her entire life, but every so often, her mobility is a little not what it used to be, and she falls every so often if she gets up too fast or if there's something in the way. Recently, Biden, our president, has fallen several times in his
Wow.
presidency already, and it's not like he's fit. He rides a bike, but there was a doctor that was talking about as we age, our walking gait, the actual gait and distance shortens on some of us. And if you notice, like Biden, or if I look at my mom, they kind of shuffle a little versus taking strides. How important is mobility as we age and just those falls? Because when you fall at a certain age, you can really do some major damage.
I think the better question would be what is the precursor behind mobility?
Wow.
I would say probably the loss of strength that requires in order for you to move that actually goes in part with mobility. The main thing is not about like how active you are as you get older, it's how effective and the quality of life that you should be having as you get older. When you're younger, you are more stable, you have the energy enough to move around, you play sports, you do things that your body is able to do. And most likely sometimes we take advantage of that and we don't really kind of like understand what are the things that I'm going to keep on doing for the rest of my life, right? And I think that's where things get a little bit cloudy for everybody as we get older, right? That's why you see a lot of athletes, once they retired, their body structure changes a lot.
Oh, wow.
They gain weight or they lose weight. They go through these transitions because their lifestyle is changing. So the main core of really being able to live longer is always going to be strength. In order to create strength, you need to create stress within the bones, within the muscles, right? And that is what it's encouraged actually now. Once you pass a certain age, we encourage clients, I encourage my clients and people over age to actually prioritize strength and work with mobility at the same time.
Wow.
So even though Biden and your mom are falling and all that stuff, the encouragement should be more not the mobility part, but actually strengthening the muscles and the bones, being able to actually really emphasize the movement that you're making. And the thing is that I think that's kind of like the approach they should be going for.
Wow,
Nice.
that's so wonderful. You mentioned precursors, and one of my precursors is actually the bones. I feel like I'm getting a touch of arthritis as I'm getting older and older. What would you say for somebody that is having those issues with arthritis or issues with their bones? What exercises can they do? What would you recommend for them?
I think arthritis is depending if it's chronic, if it's something that is wear and tear
Okay.
that is going on for a long periods of time, you got to find a solution behind that. But if it's something that is just being created over immobility, or nowadays it's most of our jobs require to sit down for multiple hours. You can see that remote jobs are increasing over jobs that requires you to even travel to your job. So understanding the level of activity that you're doing in your day compared to like how active you should be doing, you should be involving within your lifestyle. People don't realize that 1 hour a day of strength training or just exercising itself is only 1 hour. You have another 20, maybe 18 hours. What are you doing there? How active are you being? Are you being conscious of what you're doing? Are you spending a lot of time sitting down? So that is like you're comparing like 1 hour to 18 hours.
Okay.
So habitual movement and habitual lifestyle will be more within what you do within the four walls of your house, more compared to like a fitness style. So for you, it would be more about, as you get older and you have, diet should be one of the most important things.
Okay.
When I say diet, I say food lifestyle, not in terms of like what you're choosing to eat. It's more like what are the things that are going to strengthen the bones, right?
Okay.
Your calcium, your magnesium, your male. So you want to make sure that your testosterone level is at a certain percentage also too. And it's something that is just inevitable for men, that after you turn 35, we actually dramatically start decreasing testosterone. And this is why we encourage also to males to kind of like maintain a certain amount of, I would say, lifestyle within like exercising, to at least kind of maintain. Eventually, maybe not, if you're lucky enough, you might not need supplementation for increasing testosterone. But again, for male, that's one area that you want to work on. But also to creating stress within the bones, which is through strength training. Should be prioritized also too.
Wonderful.
I love it. And okay, so I'm switching gears now to when you are working out. I see so many people coming into the gym. Sometimes people of a certain age, men, women, and they literally walk in and they pick up a pair of dumbbells and they start cranking out sets of something without warm up. And I know when I trained with you, the importance of warming up, whether it was 5 minutes on the treadmill. Now I do use rubber bands for any kind of upper body workout, really lubricating my shoulders up. How important is that, particularly as we age?
Very important. Again, it all comes down to the lifestyle as well. If you're not moving around for like 6 hours and you decide to go and move, it's like pretty much you grabbing something like a statue and you're trying to like move it. Most likely, sometimes, most of the time, you're gonna break that, right? So again, it all comes down to how well do you know your body? And at the end of the day, I always encourage, it is an investment of time and money in order for you to have a good foundation within the fitness industry, within the healthy lifestyle, and also understanding that even though we have the same structures of like body, head, legs, and everything, we have our own, imbalances,
Right.
setbacks, things that we need to work on, and that's when professionals come into work. Am I a big fan of people coming in and just lifting some weights up? No, but they might have a background where maybe they are already prepared for that, and they are already in that situation, in that point of their workout, that it's okay to do that. Usually I all based on like the clientele, the person. So yes, warming up is something that you want, and the reason that is for preparation to be ready for anything. Injuries are inevitable. They happen. It is what it is. But what I tell clients is, you rather be prepared for that injury if it happens, because now it's not going to be as major as a broken bone or broken tendon or broken, tear muscle. You might have some setbacks, but at least you're prepared to be ready for that.
Wow.
Nice.
That is so great. That's great. And I think that Steve is watching me go in the gym. That's why he brought that up. So I'm one of those people that goes into the gym and I just reach for the dumbbell, the barbell, whatever I'm doing that certain day, and I just start working out. I feel like I should start incorporating more intros to my warm-ups to my workouts. So what is your recommended period of length for warm-ups when you're actually going to warm up?
It all depends what you're doing, the style of workouts. There's so many out there in terms of like what are you looking for, muscle size, strength, mobility, flexibility. They all have different pathways of to prepare for that. Usually I say about maybe 12 minutes or so, something with, like investing on like the muscles that you're working on. Like if you're going over there and doing legs and you're warming up the chest, I mean,
right, we got a problem.
We got a problem
Houston,
there.
there's a problem.
You can technically, the way I warm up myself, I always warm up my entire body, whether I'm doing legs or whether I'm doing upper body. But again, that's a habit that I created for myself, and implementing that with my clients is something that it's key as a coach that you have to do that. So again, invest 12 minutes each day. I would say probably go with total body. Find the major movements, major joint movements, your neck, shoulders, elbows, your especially your hip. We sit down a lot.
Yes.
Hip, ankle. So ankle mobility is one of the most important things, right? People don't realize how important ankles are. But if your toes are not on the floor, then it's pretty much, think about a tree without root, right? So a tree cannot stand without foundation, and the foundation is the root.
Okay.
Our root is our feet. So the stronger your feet are, the stronger your knees are. The stronger your knees are, the stronger your hip are. You know what I'm
Yeah, it all lines up.
Wow.
I like it.
That's amazing.
Okay, so staying sort of on topic of that, I want to talk about the importance of listening to your body. And I know you and I have talked about, you've given me advice when I've pulled a muscle and it sets me back a week, sometimes 3 weeks. And talk a little bit about listening to your body, and when you do injure yourself, pushing through it or simply ignoring it, which a lot of people I think do.
So if I put this in an analogy that maybe is generalized to everybody, think about you just got a credit card, right?
Ooh,
and
sounds fun.
you have a limit, right?
Right.
A certain amount of limit where you can spend that money, pay it right back because you have the money for it, right? And increase your credit score and all that stuff. But then one day you're like, I want to kind of like buy something that is $1,000 more than my limit. When that happens, you have a choice of, okay, now I got to save up to pay that bill, or I just let it go and then destroy my credit and then destroy everything else. That's pretty much what happens with injury. So you have a threshold every time you're in the gym. But there's going to be times that you might go a little bit more. So then you have to kind of understand that there is going to be a little bit of a setback in terms of giving yourself some time to kind of like adapt to that either injury or maybe something that you overdid. Most people don't understand that. They're like, all right, I'll be okay next day. And then they'll keep on doing the same thing over and over and over and over until one day you break down and now you can't go to the gym for the next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right? So think about that aspect when it comes down to the gym. There is a limit. There's a limit of time that you should be investing on your fitness goals, and also to, if you're not recovering well, if you're not eating well, think about what you do outside the gym first. You have 3 kids, 4 jobs, you sleep in 1 hour a day. Don't expect to have an awesome workout.
Right.
Okay. Wow.
Okay.
I love that. Well, since we're talking about recovery, what is there exactly? I'm going a little bit off topic, off the script here. What do you mean by recovery exactly? Because I heard you mention a couple things, but I know it's downtime. But what is your definition of what recovery is? Well, how should we be recovering after a workout?
Food, sleep, meditation. Your brain also needs some release as well too. I think that's what you need. When I say recover, it's not just like sit on your couch, watch Netflix.
That's my version. That's what I need.
Recover, I mean, is just still do what you need to do every day, but be conscious of like the amount of hours. Sleeping is such a priority.
I was just going to say, so many people, a lot of my friends say, I only get 4 hours of sleep and I'm fine. And I'm like, really? Like, I don't, especially as we age, the importance of sleep is so important, right?
Yeah, it deals with your skin. It deals with everything around you, your dopamine. It deals with so much stuff. And people are, and I would put myself in this situation when I was younger. I used to come the weekend and be like, I'm just going to sleep all day for both days and I'm going to be fine for Monday. Just like life it is, you're not getting those hours back. So if you sleep in 4 hours yesterday, you're not getting those hours back.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So when there's no such thing as in like, well, I slept 4 hours yesterday, I'm going to sleep 8 hours today and that's going to be okay. No. It's creating the same. It's like saying, okay, I'm going to work out once a week and I'm going to see improvement. And I'm going to work out at the end of the week for like 6 hours and see if I can just
jam it all
everything
in.
out. You can't do that. You gotta find a balance. I think especially when it comes down to fitness, it is sad to say that it's such a trendy thing right now, but that's because of like our lifestyle in the United States, especially how lazy we have gotten. So obviously as a coach, I'm going to encourage you to move. I'm going to do this and that. And there's investment in that. But I believe people can guide themselves as much as possible on their own if they have the proper education of their own selves. So again, understanding you,
Yes,
as in you, compared to you, and compared to myself, we all have different lifestyles. So find your balance.
okay.
I like it.
I love that. I love that so much. So as far as balance is concerned and individual people, what do you think? I see all of these advertisements about, oh, I'm 55 and I'm in the best shape of my life. How realistic is that, do you think? And how achievable? How can we be in the best shape of our lives at any age, basically?
Yeah, and also to piggyback off what you're saying, like the peak, is there a peak age that is 40 the age that you could be in the best shape of your life? Is it 30 and everything's downhill?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm qualified to like really go into like details with that stuff.
Okay.
I'm not saying that I don't know. But again, you guys can correct me out there if you guys listen. But again, I'm just probably going to see based on like the education that I have behind it. I believe that there is a way of peaking within like your 30s and 20s because your body is like at that peak level. I believe it's in between the 30s, between like 35 entering 40. Now, needless to say, I'm not saying that 40 is not going to be your peak. If you are a person that never worked out your entire life for 40 years and then you go to the gym for 6 months at 40 years old, you are going to see some results.
You're going to be in the best shape of
And
your
you
particular
are going
life.
to be-
Yeah, no, that's a good
and you're going
point.
to be in
Yeah.
the best shape of your life. So think about this. It's like, think about just the flat line or the root of the road of your own life. If you've never been active throughout your life and all of a sudden you decide to do that at your 40s, you're going to be the best out of it. Now, if you had a lifestyle of athletic background, you play sports, you actually started lifting younger, and you have maximized to conquer your own body. It doesn't matter if you're 40 or 50 or 60, you're always going to you're going to maintain that peak level. You're going to maintain that stability, that strength. You're going to maintain that. And again, as we get older, we focus on what's on the inside.
Okay.
Not on the outside. Because if you look good, you might have things in the inside that might not be okay.
Oh, I definitely know that.
Yeah.
And I heard from you that we should wait until we're 40 to work out. That's what I heard.
Selective hearing. I get it. It's so good.
I want to talk about group fitness, group activities. I know when I was training with you, it was just the two of us in the gym, but I know you teach a lot of group fitness. What's your recommendations with that, and how do you recommend group fitness for people that as we age?
I think it's a pathway. It's another option. Think about like going into a store. You have plenty of options, and you get to decide which one you want to take. And when you do it, you just apply on that. I think group fitness is it's a good way if you are not an introvert person, if you like accountability besides yourself and your coach, if you have a partner that you want to work with and maybe see how far we can both go, or 3 or 4 or whatever it is. And again, the ultimate goal here is not just like community and and accountability, but at the end of the day, it's like using any ways, forms to get you where you want to be. Yes. So if that's going to be by yourself, go. If it's going to be with a coach, go. If it's going to be with a group of people, just fucking go.
I like it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Or me? Or did I have the follow-up? I think I still had, yeah.
So yeah, I think that I see that as our bodies change, I think that one thing for me personally is that my metabolism slows down, and I feel like I have a little bit more, belly fat around my belly. Well, and I got a juicy booty too, so that's the good thing. But how can we combat a slowing metabolism as we grow older? What are some of your tips for that?
When it comes down to food, I think it's a very gray line, because now you're stepping out of a different lifestyle now. Okay. Food is a lifestyle that is pretty much created since you're born, right? Depending what you eat at home, what you've been fed through your lifestyle, as you get older, you create that habit, that lifestyle of always eating a certain way at a certain time, at a certain amount. The hardest thing about that is just that to change that habit. If you're 40 years old and you want to change that food habit, you're changing a 40-year-old habit. So it's going to take extra time and extra development and extra emphasis and prioritization in changing that lifestyle. Okay. So if you're saying that you have a slow metabolism, I don't believe in that. I think it's if you change your food lifestyle, it might make a difference. And a great example would be like if you just change little things. I think when it comes down to diet compared to fitness, again, fitness only requires 45 to maybe 90 minutes a day. Okay. You're eating 6 times a day. You're eating 4 times a day. Now the challenge is now just like, what can I eat? And I think people take it to such an extreme because of everything else that's going on with social media and how the fitness is portrayed as in like you have to look a certain way. And mentally now you're talking about mental health here. Mentally, you are rewiring your body, your brain of like, I need to look a certain way because otherwise I'm not going to be happy. I'm not telling you stay fat or, do this and do that. It's just be aware how you can balance that lifestyle. So changing little things by that, not making it too extreme measures, right? That's why when it comes down to quitting smoking, people is like, I'm going to go cold turkey, and then 2 weeks later, they're back on it again. Right. Mm-hmm. So think about the balance that you need to change. Be aware of that. Be conscious about it. And you have to be willing to do the change. You, at the end of the day, yes. Ultimately, you cannot blame anybody else but yourself when it comes down to changing anything in your lifestyle.
Okay.
So I like that.
I love that.
I love tweaks and thinking of your body as a scientific experiment at times, which... and maybe something will work if you tweak this a little bit, but if you try it consistently for a period of time and it doesn't, be willing to try something differently. Yes.
I think we have the freedom to think that we can do things, and we want to avoid getting the help because it's a financial, I would say it's an investment. It's an investment. And the thing is that it's a gamble as well. I'm going to do this on my own and see if this works, or I'm going to seek professional help and see how I can get guided that way. And I know that some people are aware and they're like, oh, well, I don't have $3,000 for it. I don't have this for it. Think about this. You are investing on you living longer. How much do you love yourself? How much do you want to invest on yourself? We're not talking about buying a car or a new suit. We're talking about your health.
Yes.
So
that's a major investment then.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I'm all the way here for that because I feel like sometimes I've hit a plateau as well. And what is the best way to get over that plateau, basically?
Major change. Plateau just means that you are an autopilot.
Okay.
You are just doing completely things that doesn't require your brain to kind of like work. It usually happens when you create a certain amount of habitual time in it, that sometimes you just go into that position and you're not growing and you're not going down as well. You're just maintaining that level. That can happen with fitness. It does happen plateau, and that can happen with your food lifestyle as well too. And again, it all comes down to like, how can you tweak? Like, okay, I haven't lost 5 pounds, I haven't lost any weight in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Well, let me check my numbers again. What am I doing? What am I eating? Oh, wait, I haven't been sleeping so well. Okay, so it's not your food. It's your sleeping. Oh, I've been stressed because I had like an extra 2 jobs. Think about that. Even though they don't matter to it, it does matter to your mental health. It does matter to your stress level. You have 3 jobs. That's stressful lifestyle right there.
So take a macro look at your lifestyle, but use it in increments. Like the last 3 weeks is a good chunk of time to look at it, because many changes don't happen in a week. You need at least several weeks to kind of notice a change.
26 days to be more
26 days. Okay, got it. I knew you would have that answer. A couple more questions, and one of them we sort of tapped into a little bit, but talking about alternate fitness tips outside of weight training, is it just simply try something new, like you've been saying, whether if you've been in the gym and you want something alternative, try a group fitness class? Or, we live in an age now where there's so many fitness things you can try. It's exciting, right?
Yes, it is exciting. But also too is like, how well can you maintain that? And at the end of the day, listen, I encourage everybody to move. I know maybe a lot of people can relate to like the lifestyle that I chose, which is how healthy I am. Not how healthy, I'm not that healthy, but what I would say is like the lifestyle that I've chosen within my career. Think about that. It's my career. I breathe and live what I do. I try to maximize my knowledge through that, and also maximize my own body at the same time. I don't require everybody to be in that same level. Everybody has a different life. So if for you going to a Barry's Bootcamp class in the beginning just to get yourself into that kind of like turning those wheels, do it, right? At the end of the day, you have to make the decision of like, this is what I want to do. What are the things that I need to do to get there, right? If you want a Ferrari, what do you need to do that? What do you need to get that Ferrari? How many jobs? What are the requirements for you to get there?
Oh, yeah.
Right? So when you get there, you're going to be thinking now, like, these are the things I needed to do in order for me to reach that level. So at the end of the day, if it's total body, if it's like group classes that you need to take, do it. I encourage everybody to move. Just be careful. Don't, a lot of people take it to the extreme and they're like, all right, I'm going to go every day to Barry's Bootcamp. I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
It goes back to like your limitations. And here, we go big or we go home. That's with everything, right? You go to McDonald's, like you get extra large food here. They give you a lot. Everything is always into such an extreme that all we think is extreme. So I got to go to the gym every single day, 3 hours a day. Why?
Yeah. ClassPass is a really good option for a lot of people, because you can
Yes.
try in a month various classes and pop into actual gyms and see what you like.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a great idea.
But also, too, I would say I always recommend this. And this is not just to sell my product or anything like that, is seek professional help first. Invest minimum 3 months to at least be guided as in like, okay, you have bad ankles, maybe don't run a lot. You have to strengthen, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to put on my shoes and start running. No, it's like, it's been 20 years since I ran. Okay, so now all of a sudden, just because you ran 20 years ago, now you think you're going to run again? No, like, you have to kind of like rewire it. You have to go for a tune-up. You got to go, you know what I mean? You got to do that.
Invest.
There's literally a saying that says you have to walk before you can run. So
Yep.
There we go. That's what it is. All right, so we love to end on a high note. We're going to ask everybody the same question. You as our guest, if you would like to go first. If not, we can throw it to Steve, okay? So the question is, what joy are you finding currently by keeping in shape and just in physical fitness personally?
Repeat that question again.
What joy are you finding currently in keeping in shape and in physical fitness personally?
It's helping me. I mean, the joy that I get from fitness is, it used to be more with the intention of like, I wanted to be as strong as hell and as big as possible. That changed as I suffered through injuries and everything, and I kind of like just used as a habit my workouts. And again, it's something that I was just doing regularly without thinking. But I think this year I discovered that I do it with the intention of just being able to live longer. So I there's a different meaning within working out for me than just looking a certain way. Strength has no size. And I think I have mastered, I'm on the road of mastering the true potential of strength as I find joy within my own self. Doing things that I wasn't able to do 10 years ago when I was actually younger and stronger at the same time. Discovering new things about my own body that I didn't do when I was younger as well. And I think that's kind of like the type of impact I want to give to my clientele and also, friends and people around me. And I think that's the new joy that I have.
Nice.
Impacting. I live by 3 words: purpose, mindset, and impact. So my purpose has always been to help and to be a better version of myself each day. My mindset was always, no matter what happens, you're prepared for it. And then impact is just impact people around you without you doing your own goal, but at the same time, you're impacting people around you, motivating them to do something about themselves.
That's lovely. I really, really love that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Steve?
I would say, as a former gymnast back in the day, I would go to train, and it was because of what I had to do and what I wanted to do. And I kind of took that mentality post gymnastics that I need to work out, it's in my blood, and it was something I had to do. But I don't know that I ever got the joy out of working out. When somebody tells you, enjoy your workout, it's your time. I'm actually putting those this year in particular into effect when I do go down to have a workout by myself, or I go for a run now, post broken ankle, which I'm doing now. I really set an intention from the moment I either have a pre-workout drink that this really is my time. I'm not scrolling on my phone. I used to let my mind go to other places. Oh, what do I got to call? I got to call this person. No, I'm really focusing on that hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is, and I'm finding the joy that this is my time. I'm going to enjoy it. And it's really changed my perspective on making it a really great hour or a great 45 minutes or whatever it is. So, and I don't think I ever did that after all these 50 years of working out, or 40 some odd years. So yeah.
Taking time for yourself.
Really enjoying it.
That's beautiful. I really, really love that too. So for me, I started working out because I wanted to look better. And I would be lying, honestly, if I said that wasn't something that I enjoy about working out, is the after effects of actually being able to look better. But there was something that's kind of crept up on me, and I actually started to feel better as well. So having more energy is something that I think is wonderful, is a wonderful after effect of working out. But also, you mentioned the mobility thing, and if you're at rest for such a long time, I feel like my body personally, because of maybe our maybe arthritis is a factor, but if I don't work out, then I start to feel like absolute crap.
Right.
So I feel like the after effects of the workout is making me feel so much better. And I find so much joy in having energy and not in my body feeling like it's complete and it's whole and it's doing its job. And it just makes me feel amazing. So that's so wonderful to me.
I love it.
Yeah.
Well, we want to thank our special guest.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me again and sharing my knowledge. I think a couple of years ago, actually 6 years ago, I had this Jersey Shore bro type of mentality. Just work out every day and you'll be okay. And I'm hearing myself speak and how I sound educated. It's fun because I believe that I'm actually now making an impact to everybody, and hopefully everybody can learn something. And you know, and again, never don't stop loving yourself, but also to be aware what you need to do for yourself. Make the ultimate decision and say to yourself, I'm willing to do this. I'm going to do this. Don't think of I will, you know, someday I'll do it or I'll do it tomorrow. No, if you have a goal to do it, just do it.
Today's the
That's
day.
it.
Today's the day, and you can
Yes.
follow Alex at Unleash Fit on Instagram. Some great stories, motivation,
Yeah.
comedy, all the above. Anywhere else to follow you?
No, man, I do have a TikTok now, but I don't
cool.
dance there. Sorry. No, I only I like the community there too as well. It's a little bit different than Instagram, but you can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Unleash Fit. For any other questions in terms of programming or anything that you have within what I said today, feel free to slide to my DMs.
Ooh.
All right. Be careful what you wish for. Thanks again. Thank you. Kodi, that was such a fun conversation with Alejandro. I have always loved training with him for so many years, but to know that he's still in my life in one way, shape, or form, and now he's on our show is so good. I learned so much. I know you and I work out. Fitness is so important to us. It has been for so many years. And I think I'm going to speak for myself, but isn't fitness so important for your life and one more thing that you just have to layer in? Or you tell me.
Yeah, I love that conversation. First, I want to say, Alejandro, he is so knowledgeable and he gave me so many tips and tricks, and I love that. I think that as you grow older, you have to make certain adjustments for your body, and I think that was a big part of what he was trying to say to us as far as, growing older and working out, and how it doesn't have to necessarily affect your life, but it is something that you should be thinking about. So I really, really am really happy with our conversation, and I really thought that was so great.
I love that thing about adjustments that we make because I have tried to carry on older things like sprinting. I was a track and field, you know, alumni back in high school and grade school. And I may have mentioned it, but I tried to sprint during the pandemic when we couldn't go into our gyms, and I heard a snap in my hamstring. And so I'm pretty sure that sprinting is
No.
off the table for me from here on out. But there's so many other things that you can be physically active that will still bring joy, will still make you healthy. And you just got to pivot, I think,
Yeah.
to what works for you now. And you got to be asking yourself those questions and checking in with yourself all the time on where am I at now? Where is my body at now? So really great. So much fun. Love doing this show. Love
Me
these
too.
conversations. So great. And, well, I don't want to say this yet because, okay. Okay. Back to... Well, we're back with new episodes every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts. And you know what? Do us a favor, rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. Give us 5 stars. It will only help spread the word to get Of a Certain Age into other listening audiences, and where can people follow us, Kodi?
People can follow us on Instagram at Of a Certain Age Pod. You know, slide in our DMs every now and then. We love to hear from you guys. Chat with us,
That
kiki
is
with us. Let
that
us
is
know
a
what you want to think. Go ahead.
sorry. Say that. Let us know what you think because I cut you off.
Let us know what you think, guys.
I love that. Definitely slide into our DMs because we can start a new segment in the new year with our listening audience and questions they have. So, new segment coming in 2024. So, stay tuned for that.
And Stevie, what are we doing?
We're living out loud.